Rational emotive behavior therapy was developed by Dr. Albert Ellis. He believed that rational beliefs are self-helping and irrational beliefs are self-defeating.
He classifies disturbance as thoughts characterized by necessitizing goals and attitudes as well as demanding certain outcomes. Emotional health was classified as flexibility, seeking alternatives, and unperfectionistic wishing rather than demanding.
Ellis believes that you can reason yourself into a state of healthy feeling by showing yourself how silly it is for you to remain under or over emotional.
In the scene following is a demonstration of what an REBT session would be like with Dr. Albert Ellis.
The woman in the following scene is experiencing feelings of shame and guilt. Shame and guilt can both be used often interchangeably. Guilt is putting oneself down for harming someone else. Shame is putting oneself down for acting incompetently, foolishly, defectively, or for acting self-defeatingly. In this scene, this woman has had an adulterous affair. She feels guilty and shameful in an irrational way because she has 3 children, a husband of 10 years, and has never behaved this way before.
Hi, Katie. I'm Dr. Albert Ellis. What brings you in here today?
I came in here today because I'm feeling guilty about cheating on my husband of 10 years. I remember him calling me up on our 10th year anniversary, and he said that he won't be able to come in because he's working late. And I remember being so upset because I planned this whole dinner throughout the whole day. It took me forever to plan. And I had rose petals throughout the whole house, candles lit everywhere. And then I just remember, after I got that phone call, I was looking outside and I caught a glimpse of the neighbor's pool boy. Sweat was glistening all over his body, and after I offered him lemonade, I couldn't control my body, and the next thing I knew, I woke up in bed with him.
So why is it that you're feeling guilty?
Well, as I said, my husband had called me early to say that he wouldn't be able to make our 10th year wedding anniversary. I was so distraught. As I said before, I was caught in bed with the neighbor's pool boy, only to find that my husband came home to surprise me early with 10 red roses and diamond earrings. 10 red roses, the sweetest thing I've ever had. He said 1 red rose represented each year of our marriage. Now I am completely guilty and shameful because I cheated on my husband. He's never going to love me again, especially now my kids, because they'll never be able to respect me as a parent, let alone love me as a mother. The people in town, the neighbors, everyone's going to judge me. My reputation is completely gone, and I'm never going to be able to make future friends because people will learn of what I've done. And I'm just completely distraught because my reputation is everything, and I'm feeling so guilty and shameful for everything that I have done.
What you did to your husband and children were very wrong, but that does not make you a bad or an incompetent person. It simply means that you've done a bad thing, but you're still a good person and you are still deserving of love.
No, it's not. My family will never love me again.
Can you rationally support this idea? Is it rational to think that your entire family, especially your children, will no longer love you as the person you are because you made this one mistake?
You're right. They probably won't hate me forever. They will be angry and upset, but they will not stop loving me for the person I am. But how am I going to have the reputation by everyone else? Like, I need to be accepted by everyone else in town. It's not just, I'm going to lose my reputation completely. It's not only my family and my husband that I have to worry about, it's the friends and then the rest of the people in the town, the small town that we live in, let alone.
That would be disappointing. That would be very inconvenient, but that would not be completely catastrophic. This is called masturbation. You are thinking that in order for you to be a valuable person, that you must be loved by your family. You must be accepted by your friends and peers, and that is simply not the case. You can live your life, though not as happily as you expected, just as easily without the love of your family, without the acceptance of your friends. It'll be unfortunate, you might be very lonely, but you can do it, and that's the rational thought that we're trying to get you to.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Dr. Ellis is using REBT therapy to convince her that she is being irrational in her beliefs and is attempting to talk her into thinking her emotions down to a rational state.
He is doing this by telling her that she is catastrophizing her problems and making them seem as if the outcomes of her mistake will make her life completely miserable and unbearable for the rest of her life.
He is claiming that her way of thinking, that her family must love her and accept her is an irrational thought, and that it would be inconvenient and disturbing, but that it would not completely ruin her life.
The problem is not that you feel guilty or shameful. Guilt and shame are perfectly rational beliefs in this situation. The problem is the way you're thinking about your guilt and shame. You feel like no one can ever forgive you, no one can ever love someone who has made your mistake. You feel that you can never be forgiven and that you deserve for your family to stop loving you, and for your friends to stop caring about you, even though it would be completely devastating for you to do that. These are self-downing beliefs. You cannot accept yourself without the approval of your husband and family. To make these irrational thoughts rational, we have to change the way you think about them. You can want their approval, and you can want to do well, and you can dislike your immoral behavior, but you cannot think yourself an undeserving person because you sometimes act in these immoral ways.
I think I'm starting to understand. Even though it wasn't okay for me to do what I did, it is okay for me to feel like a bad wife. It does not necessarily make me a bad person, though. I am still deserving of my family's love, even if I have wronged them terribly. I am disappointed with what I have done. I'm disappointed in my behavior. I wish I could take it back and I'd do anything to do that, but I didn't. I am very sorry that I did it, but I am still a good mother and still a good person. It was irrational for me to think that I did not deserve the basic human emotions of love.
Okay, that's very good. I'm proud to hear you say that. You're thinking rationally now, so keep it up.
Dr. Ellis has just taught Katie into thinking rationally by convincing her of her irrational behavior.
The irrational behavior was that of her thinking that her entire life was ruined by one mistake, and that she was completely undeserving of her family's love and support. Dr. Ellis not only convinced her that it was not true, but told her that even if it was, her life would continue to progress normally without the acceptance of others.
This is rational emotive behavior therapy, using rational thinking to decrease catastrophic emotion and to look at a situation in a more realistic perspective, without the nuisance of emotions getting in the way of thinking through life's issues.
That is a self-defeating and an irrational thought.
I forgot.
No, it's not. Your line was no, it's not.
He is doing this by telling her that she is catastrophizing her problems and making them seem as if Can I do that again?
Dr. Ellis is using REBT therapy to convince her that she is being irrational in her beliefs and is attempting to talk her down into an emotional, rational state.